Who is Thanos? Let me spell it for ya. T is for Tesseract, ripping holes in space-time. H is for him, you'll see. A is for Aether, it's anything at all part of Thanos theory. N is for necklace, not Agamotto. O is for orb, really. S is for Loki's scepter, it's a film theory. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, the show that's willing to take the 8-hour bullet that is watching Marvel's Inhumans so you don't have to. Today I'm gonna be digging into one of the most burning questions leading up to Avengers Infinity War. Where is the Soul Stone? The 6th and final Infinity Stone. And there were a ton of expectations that it was gonna appear in Black Panther, seeing as how that was the last film in the franchise before Infinity War. But then the movie came out and nothing. As Black Panther's director Ryan Coogler put it,
I love the Infinity Stones as much as any comic book fan. It's just Wakanda kind of already has this thing, which is vibranium. For us, that was special enough. So to throw in something like another special thing didn't feel right.
So where's this thing hiding? Well, I don't know what all the internet hoopla is about, because here's the thing. We've already seen it. It is literally hiding in plain sight. So here's your spoiler alert for the whole of the MCU, as today we're gonna weave through the massive plot of the 18-movie, 10-television show Marvel Universe to find the real answer to where this glowing piece of radical rock has been hiding all along.
Before creation itself, there were 6 singularities. Infinity Stone.
You know how in school you have mnemonic devices like "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally," where each letter is there to help you remember the proper order of operations, parenthesis, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction? Well, if you want to impress your friends as you walk into Infinity War later this week, the locations of the Infinity Stones function largely the same way. All you need to remember is Thanos, just like the SpongeBob song I sang at the beginning of the episode, because each one corresponds with a letter in Thanos' name. T is for Tesseract, which hides the blue space stone. As confirmed by the Infinity War trailers, we know Loki has it, stealing it away from the treasury of Asgard at the end of Thor Ragnarok. H, well, I'm gonna get to that one later. A is for Aether, which honestly means nothing to you if you skipped over Thor the Dark World. And who could blame you for that one? Thor the Dark World literally cured me of insomnia I was having a couple months back, so put that one on your Google Play review score. Basically, the Aether is just a bunch of raspberry jelly sandwiched between 2 rocks with the superpower of making the final battle really difficult to see. Since Asgard already had the Tesseract at the end of Dark World, they were totally like, yeah, thanks but no thanks, guys, but we already got one of these ultra-powerful stones. So instead, they hand it off to this guy, the Collector, at the end of the movie. And during Thor's awkward bath time in the middle of Age of Ultron, we see the raspberry jam solidify into the red Reality Stone. N is for Necklace, which refers to the Eye of Agamotto, Doctor Strange's time-controlling amulet, which, fittingly enough, contains the green Time Stone. But as far as I'm concerned, it might as well be called the Retcon Stone, am I right? Get it? Because once you can reverse time, literally nothing has consequences. Up top. Okay. No one's giving me a high five. It's all right, it's all right. Anyway, the O in Thanos stands for Orb, the quest item from Guardians of the Galaxy that hid the purple Power Stone, the stone that destroyed the Collector's Museum and wound up in possession of the Nova Corps at the end of that movie.
He's not, and I'm quoting him here, 100% a dick.
Do you believe him?
I don't know that I believe anyone's 100% a dick, ma'am.
And lastly, as if the cast of Thor didn't have enough access to ultra-powerful space rocks, S is for Scepter. Specifically, the scepter used by Loki throughout the first Avengers movie to control people's thoughts and actions. Age of Ultron reveals that inside of that glowing blue gem was, surprise, surprise, a glowing yellow gem. The Yellow Mind Stone. It was like a Kinder Egg surprise opening YouTube video, but done on a $1 billion scale. Anyway, Ultron puts the Mind Stone into the still developing Vision, where it still sits for now. Now, obviously, I'm just telling you this theory because it's more fun than it is serious. Doing things like reducing the Eye of Agamotto to being called a necklace is just trying to shoehorn the letters into the right places to come up with a cool acronym. I mean, guys, I just came up with the next really cool theory about this. Get ready to cover this one, Screen Rant. I present to you the breast theory. Ball, rod, eye, Aether, sovereign, Tesseract. Somehow I don't think the breast theory is going to be quite as popular as the Thanos one. Anyway, the fun thing about the Thanos theory is that, as you can see, I left out H. And honestly, after reading online theories and doing my own research, the most likely place to find the Soul Stone both relate to the letter H. Either Heimdall or him. Yes, there are plenty of theories circulating around online for everything from Tony Stark himself being the Soul Stone to this orange-tinted planet we see in the trailers for Infinity War being creating a world inside of the Soul Stone. But here's the thing, from an evidentiary standpoint, Heimdall and him are the only two theories with substantial enough backing to be considered plausible. So let me first go through the Heimdall theory, because personally it's my favorite of the bunch and the one that I'm rooting for to happen, and then I'll cover the him theory, which honestly seems very clearly where this whole soul train is headed toward. One thing we know for sure is that the Soul Stone is colored orange. We see as much in the Collector's screen when he's describing the Infinity Stones to the Guardians of the Galaxy. And throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when a character gets exposed to an Infinity Stone, their eyes glow in that color. Ronan the Accuser in Guardians, purple eyes only after he gets the Power Stone. Hawkeye getting possessed by the Mind Stone in Avengers, blue eyes, but remember that was back when the Mind Stone was still blue. Even the Aether in Thor the Dark World makes the eyes of both Jane Foster and Malekith deep red. So who just so happens to have himself some orange eyes? Heimdall, the all-seeing, all-hearing guard of the Bifrost Bridge. And it's not just that his eyes are orange, but his eyes also get a fair amount of screen time. Dramatic close-ups, scenes in which he's giving sight to others, and probably most suspicious of all, Thor's vision in Age of Ultron, where he actually sees the other 5 stones. Heimdall in this scene, blind. His orange eyes have disappeared. Perhaps the Soul Stone has been removed from his body and thereby leaving him sightless. Heimdall even explicitly says in Thor 2 that he can
see 9 realms and 10 trillion souls.
Whether stone related or not, Heimdall just naturally has a connection with souls. Not to mention, when Heimdall first appeared in Thor, he was wearing a suit of armor with an orange stone in its chest. And with Idris Elba, Heimdall's actor, going on record to say that he wants a bigger part in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, having his character be in possession of the last and most mysterious Infinity Stone would be a great excuse to bring him more into the spotlight. Or, alternatively, if it's hidden inside of Heimdall, kill him off and bring back Elba as someone else. So honestly, that's my personal favorite theory because it follows the rules of Chekhov's gun. Someone or something that's already been introduced into the series contains this magical MacGuffin. But here's why it probably won't happen. If Heimdall truly has the stone, that would now make it 4 stones out of 6 that had been in the hands of Asgardians. And it would make it the second stone out of 6 where it's actually inside of one of the characters. We also know, based on the end credit scene of Thor Ragnarok and the trailers for Avengers Infinity War, that Thanos catches up to the Asgardian ship where he takes the Tesseract from Loki. We see him add the blue gem to his gauntlet. But then, who else is on that ship? None other than Heimdall. And with Thanos having a natural connection to the stones, it would be odd for him to get one and not the other. Just not a very efficient trip. Plus, we get plenty of close-ups of Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet and it only has a couple stones. Unless, of course, the trailers have been CGI altered to hide that Thanos has the stone in his gauntlet already, like they hid Thor's missing eye in Ragnarok. But again, I don't really think that's the case here. Because like I said, we've seen the Soul Stone already, so this whole big mystery feels kind of moot. The Soul Stone is here. It's the glowing rock at the top of this birthing pod at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I don't know why none of the other online theories have talked about this thing. You notice how it's slightly bigger than all the other Infinity Gems, just like the gauntlet space for the Soul Stone? It's even glowing a yellow-orange, which totally fits the color. And if you're wondering about color and whether that's yellow or orange, Thor's vision in Age of Ultron actually makes the Mind Stone look to be more orange than it is yellow, so color correction on these 2 stones is a bit wacky right now.
I think I shall call him Adam.
Now, if you're not a hardcore comics fan, you could be forgiven for not knowing the bizarre story of Adam Warlock, savior of Counter-Earth and ultimately half the universe. In the Earth 616 timeline, which is the primary Marvel Comics timeline, Adam Warlock was originally created by a secret group of human scientists on Earth called the Enclave. Back then, Adam simply called himself him. See, that's where that H in Thanos comes back. When he rebels against his creators, the cosmic entity known as the High Evolutionary gives him the Soul Gem. In Avengers Annual number 7, Thanos becomes the first to use the 6 Infinity Gems in unison. He's only able to be stopped by the collective forces of the Avengers, Adam Warlock, and Captain Marvel, who, wouldn't you know it, was recently revealed and who happens to have a movie smack dab in the middle between Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. But Adam's connection with the Soul Stone isn't just in one comic series. I mean, sure, in the Earth 616 universe, Warlock is often seen as one of the few beings powerful enough to stand up to Thanos, so it makes sense sense that he would appear in the MCU to stop him in Avengers 4, but the Soul Gem Adam Warlock connection spans across all the alternate universes. In the Marvel animated universe, the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon reveals the Soul Stone is with Adam Warlock.
His gem's getting dark.
In the alternate reality of Earth 91119, the Soul Stone is in Adam Warlock's possession, and on and on. The two are practically inseparable. So inseparable, in fact, that when you look at the list of characters who've actually used the Soul Stone, there's not a whole lot of other ones who've touched the thing. There's Thanos, there's Adam Warlock, there's Doctor Strange, and that's really about all the names that you would recognize who currently exist in the MCU. Well, all except for one other, Nebula, the angry blueberry from Guardians of the Galaxy, Thanos' adopted daughter and Gamora's adopted sister. Yep, of all the characters in this extended universe, she's the other person to ever be considered a previous owner. And here's why that's interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2's plot begins with the Guardians destroying a giant monster in exchange for Nebula, who's been captured by the Sovereign. But what was Nebula doing there on the planet in the first place? We're told that she's been caught.
Our soldiers apprehended her attempting to steal the batteries.
And sure, we're told throughout the movie that these batteries are valuable.
We'll take them batteries. They're worth what, $250,000 on the open market?
And that they're powerful.
The batteries, they are exceptionally combustible and could destroy the entire fleet.
But Nebula as a character isn't driven by money, she's driven by revenge.
As a child, my father would have Gamora and me battle one another in training. Every time my sister prevailed, my father would replace a piece of me with machinery. So after I murder my sister, I will buy a warship with every conceivable instrument of death. I will hunt my father like a dog and I will tear him apart slowly, piece by piece.
She isn't out for fortune, she is actively trying to kill Thanos. And the best way to do that would be with an Infinity Stone, the last Infinity Stone. The Soul Stone that she knows happens to be on the Sovereign planet and that winds up powering the Adam Warlock rebirthing chamber. At the beginning of the movie, clearly the Infinity Stones are on Nebula's mind.
You hate me? You left me there while you stole that stone for yourself. And yet here you stand, a hero.
This line might be easy enough to write off as a simple reference to the first film, but even still, it feels out of place. If you really stop and think about it, this line reveals what Nebula's thought process could be here. Step 1, steal the Soul Stone. Step 2, kill your family. Step 3, profit. Now, I can hear some of your Vulture cosplay feathers ruffling already because Adam isn't officially slated to appear until Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and MCU head honcho Kevin Feige officially claimed that Adam won't be in the Avengers movies. But remember, he also claimed that Captain Marvel wouldn't be in Infinity War. And let's just see what the Russo brothers have to say about that one.
Yeah, we have some great female characters in this. Captain Marvel is in it, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch.
Honestly, we have to accept that sometimes studio executives are trying their best to hide cool surprises so that it doesn't ruin things for the audience. Hiding a big reveal like the location of the last Infinity Stone and the one character most likely to stop Thanos makes perfect sense if you're in his shoes. Here's the thing, there are going to be more than 60 characters in Infinity War, and Thanos is going to have to go from 0 Infinity Stones to at least 3. From this clip, we can tell that Thanos will start by acquiring the Power Stone, then move on to acquiring the Space Stone. Right now, neither of those stones are anywhere near Earth, with the Power Stone being guarded by the Nova Corps and the Space Stone being in Loki's possession in the Tesseract. A leaked scene also lets us know that Thanos goes looking for the Reality Stone and that the Collector claims to have sold it. We can also assume that Thanos doesn't have the Red Reality Stone when he gets to Earth, as evidenced in this shot when Captain America incredibly stops Thanos' gauntlet. That means that by the time he leaves Wakanda, at best, Thanos will have the Power Stone, Space Stone, and Mind Stone ripped free from Vision's head, and then maybe he goes to search for the Red Reality Stone. This means that it's gonna take Thanos about 1 movie to collect at least 3 and maybe 4 Infinity Stones, and that's already a ton of stuff to cram into the space of 1 movie. With another Avengers movie coming out just around the corner, it would make perfect sense that the next movie would center around his quest for the rest of the stones. So there you have it. The Soul Stone, in my humble opinion, should be kept within Heimdall, but it's probably more likely in Adam Warlock. Either way, we probably won't get a good look at the Soul Stone at all until Avengers 4. I also wouldn't be surprised if it didn't show up at all in either Infinity War movie, with it being the primary MacGuffin for Phase 4 of Marvel. Or who knows, Marvel might just pull a Star Wars and have Thanos throw the completed Infinity Gauntlet off a cliff. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And And if you're like me and you're bummed out that you won't get to see a Soul Stone for another 2 movies, take consolation on YouTube, in the form of lots of videos about shiny rocks. Now, I've talked about this before, but I've had a fascination with shiny gems, crystals, and rocks that probably have magical powers for as long as I can remember. So when I'm not theorizing about Infinity Stones, I still love learning about their real-world equivalents on the internet. And my favorite channel for gemology research is JTV. JTV's run by Natalie, a real-life gemologist who asked if I wanted to collab for an Infinity Stone-themed episode, and I was totally like, heck yes, because she's an amazing resource for any kind of research related to gems in your favorite movies and TV shows. Like, for instance, today, what stones would you need to buy if you wanted to own your own set of real-world Infinity Gems? She does 2 videos like this a week where she analyzes all kinds of rocks, minerals, and metals from movies, TV shows, or around the world, and she comes to some pretty mind-blowing conclusions about them. It's a lot like theories, but around a very specific type of science. So if you're into gemology, mythical stones, or simply rocking out, head over to her channel by clicking the box you see on screen and giving her a subscribe. If you especially liked this theory, then you'll be really into her video comparing Infinity Stones to real-world gems. Or if you're feeling a bit more nostalgic, then check out her 3-part series on Steven Universe gemstones. So seriously, get your sparkle on and go show a fellow YouTuber some support. Diamonds aren't a girl's best friend, subscribers are.